Good morning, students. So, today I will tell you a very interesting story, Ishwaran the Storyteller by R.K. Lakshman. R.K. Lakshman is also an Indian cartoonist and he also written many short stories. So, this is the story of Ishwaran and Mahendra. So, who was Mahendra? Was a junior supervisor. So, introduction. One night, Mahendra woke up from his sleep and saw a dark, cloudy form. He broke out into a cold sweat. Was it a ghost? So, one night, when Mahendra was sleeping, he has seen a ghost, or he has seen only the dark cloud form, and he thought it was a ghost. Now see what happened in the story. So this story was narrated to Ganesh by a young man, and who was that young man? Was Mahendra. So story is narrated or said to Ganesh by Mahendra. So Mahendra by name, he was a junior supervisor in a firm which offered on hire supervisor at various types of construction sites, factories, bridges, dams, and so on. So Mahendra used to work in a site. Mahendra's job was to keep an eye on the activities of the work of site. As he was a supervisor, so his work was to visit various sites and see the work of other workers. He had to keep moving from place to place every now and then as ordered by his head office. So his job was touring job also, and he has to go place to place, from a coal mining area to railway bridge construction site, from there after a few months to a chemical plant which was coming up somewhere. So whatever order come from head office, Mahendra has to follow. Mahendra was a bachelor. His needs were simple and he was able to adjust himself to all kinds of odds condition. Means Mahendra was not married and he was a simple man, and he can adjust at any place, whether it was an ill-equipped circuit house or a makeshift canvas tent in the middle of the stone quarry. So he can even live in canvas tent or in circuit houses. But one asset he had was his cook, Ishwaran. So asset means one thing which he possessed was very good, that was his cook. His name was Ishwaran, and the cook was quite attached to Mahendra and followed him uncomplainingly wherever he was posted. So that cook Ishwaran also loved Mahendra very much and take care of him. He also used to take care of him well. He cooked for Mahendra, washed his clothes, chatted away with his master at night, and during the night he used to tell him very nice stories. He could weave out endless stories and anecdotes on varied subjects. So he can also tell him very amusing stories. Anecdotes means amusing stories on different subjects. Ishwaran also had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients seemingly out of nowhere in the middle of the desolate landscape with no shop visible for miles around. So Ishwaran was a very good housekeeper and he could bring many special vegetables also. He could search them from anywhere, and he used to bring them house and he used to cook them. He would miraculously conjure up the most delicious dishes made with fresh vegetables with an hour of arriving at Jing Sheet Shelter at new workplace. So he was a very good housekeeper and was a very good cook. He used to cook many delicious dishes for Mahendra. Mahendra would be up early in the morning and leave for work after breakfast. So Mahendra got up early in the morning and went for his work, and he carried some prepared food with him. So he also used to have his tiffin, which was prepared by Ishwaran. Meanwhile, Ishwaran would tidy up the shed, wash the clothes, and have a luxury bath. So, on the meantime, when Mahendra was in the office, Ishwaran used to clean the house and clean the shed, washes his clothes, and have a very nice bath for himself, and several buckets of water over his head, muttering a prayer all the while. So he used to have a very nice bath for himself, and by the time it would be lunch time. After eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. Dozing off means he also have some nap, and then he used to read many books. The book was usually some popular Tamil thriller running of hundred of pages. So he used to read many short stories. Its imaginative descriptions and narrative flourishes would hold Ishwaran to thrall. So it was so interesting books that Ishwaran could not leave that book without completing it. And whoever listened his story also become his slave. So it was very interesting stories. His own descriptions were greatly influenced by the Tamil author that he read. So firstly he read the story, then he also added many things by himself. When he was narrating even the smallest of the incident, he would try to work in suspense and surprise ending into the account. So he used to tell the story in a very mesmerizing way. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway, he would say with eyebrows suitably arched and hands held out in a dramatic gesture. So he was a very great dramatist also. And he used to tell, the road was deserted, that I was all alone. Suddenly I spotted something that looked like an enormous bushy beast lying sprawled. Sprawled means spread out across the road. Only he have seen the uprooted tree and he has made such a long story. I was half inclined to go back. So he wanted to go back, but as I came closer, I saw that it was a fallen tree. So it was nothing but only a tree with its dry branches spread out. Mahendra would stretch himself back in the canvas chair and listen to Ishwaran tales uncritically. So Mahendra used to hear the story in a great interest, and he never criticized Ishwaran for any type of story. Now let's see what happened next. So now the Ishwaran will say another story to Mahendra. So story is the place I come from. The place I come from is famous for timber. Do you know the meaning of timber? Timber means the wooden, where we keep so much wood and wood logs, and then we convert into the furniture. So Ishwaran would begin. Now listen the story. There is a There is a richly wooded forest all around. The logs are hauled. Hauled means carried. Carried onto the lorries by elephant. It means those logs were pulled by the elephant. There was lorries and elephant used to pull that lorries, and they are huge well-fed beasts. So you all know that elephant is a very huge animal, and when they turn wild, even the most experienced mahout is not able to control them. So sometimes when elephant go mad, so their mahout also cannot able to control them. So this was the introduction of the story of Ishwaran. After this prelude means introduction. After this prelude, Ishwaran would launch into an elaborate anecdote involving an elephant. Now Ishwaran started to tell about one very interesting story on elephant. Anecdote means very interesting story. One day a tusker escaped from the timber yard and began to roam about. Tusker means elephant. One day a tusker escaped. Escaped means ran away from the timber yard. Timber yard means go down of timber where the woods are kept, and began to roam about. Roam about means going here and there, running here and there. So what he was doing? Stamping on bushes, tearing up wild creepers. So on the way, all the plants, all the trees, he was stamping. He was gone mad, breaking branches at will. He was breaking the branches of trees. You know, sir, how an elephant behaves when it goes mad. Ishwaran would get so caught up in excitement of his own story that he would get up from the floor. So he was acting like a elephant, acting like a mad elephant, and jump about, stamping his feet in emulation of mad elephant. Emulation means imitation. So he was copying the like a mad elephant. The elephant reached the outskirts of our town, breaking the fences down like matchstick. Now these elephant reached the outskirts means it was on the outer part of the town, and he was breaking down the fences means fence of the houses like the matchstick, means he was destroying anything which is coming in his way. He would continue. It become in the main road, and then he come in the main road and smash all the stalls. Stalls means all the shops, whatever coming in his ways. Means stalls of food seller, and even the mud pots and the cloth shop, etc. People ran helter and skelter in panic. So when the people saw this mad animal, they also become so much afraid. They were started going here and there. They were full of fear. The elephant now entered a school, and what happened? So the same animal entered in a school where children were playing, breaking through the brick wall. And how he entered? He entered not through the gate, but after breaking the brick wall, the wall which was made of bricks. And all the boys ran into the classroom, shut the door tight. So children also got feared, and they entered in their classroom and they shut their door. The bees grunted. Grunted means the elephant, the voice of the elephant, the beast grunted and wandered about. So he was in the school and he was going here and there, pulling out the football goal post. He went to the football field also, tearing down the volleyball net also, kicking and flattening the drum cat for water. There was a drum which was to fill water. He also throw down that and uprooting all the shrubs. So whatever plants were in the school, he destroyed all of them. Meanwhile, all the teachers had climbed up to the terrace of the school. Even the teachers were so afraid that they all went to the roof of the school building. From there they helplessly watched the depredation. Depredation means all the damages done by the elephant. Depredation of the elephant. There was not a soul below on the ground. So there was no one on the ground. And even the streets were empty of all the, if the inhabitants of the entire town suddenly disappeared, and it was looking as if all the people have disappeared. Ishwaran continued. He said, I was studying in the junior class at that time and was watching the whole drama from the rooftop. He said he was also on the terrace and he was watching everything. He further said, I don't know what came over me suddenly. I grabbed a cane from the hands of one of the teachers and ran down the stairs and into the open. Then what he did? He grabbed a cane from hands of one of the teacher, means he took the cane from one of the teachers. So Ishwaran took the cane from one of his teacher and he went to the open field. Then what happened? The elephant grunted and menacingly swung a branch of tree which it held in its trunk. So elephant was still destroying the trees and it stamped its feet, kicking up a lot of mud and dust. So there was so much mud and dust was everywhere. It looked frightening. It was a very frightening scene, but Ishwaran was not afraid. He moved slowly towards with his stick in his hand. People were watching the scene, hypnotized, so everybody was shivered what Ishwaran was up to. The elephant looked at me red-eyed, ready to rush towards me. It lifted its trunk and trumpeted loudly. Trunk means main part of elephant. At that moment I moved forward and mustering all my force, and I was waked. Waked means completely tired or exhausted. But Ishwaran was not afraid and he moved towards the elephant. Now see what happened further. So what the Ishwaran did? It hit the third toenail of the elephant with the cane, and the beast looked stunned for a moment. Beast means elephant, stunned means surprise for a while, and then it shivered from head to foot. And then what happened? The elephant was exhausted from head to foot and collapsed. At this point, Ishwaran would leave the story unfinished. So this was an important point, and Ishwaran break the story, get up mumbling. He got up and said, I will be back after lighting the gas and warming up the dinner. And he said, I am going to bring the dinner. Mahendra, who had been listening with rapt attention, so Mahendra was listening the story. Rapt means lot of attention, and would be left hanging. And when he returned, Ishwaran would not pick up the thread of story right away. So now Ishwaran want to know more and more about the story, but Ishwaran was not telling anything. Mahendra would have to remind him that the conclusion was pending. Then he said, "Oh well, a veterinary doctor was summoned. Veterinary summon means veterinary doctor was called to revive the animal. Revive means in order to uh, give some treatment to the elephant." And what happened? Ishwaran would shrug casually. Shrug means raised his shoulders. Uh, 2 days 2 days later, it was led away its Mahmoud to the jungle. Well, how did you manage to do it? So the this man Mahendra asked, but how did you bring down the beast? How you can able to do all this? Then Ishwaran said, it was something to do with a Japanese art. I think, sir, karate or jujitsu it is called. So he said he has some knowledge of karate. I had read about it somewhere. It temporarily paralyzed the nervous system, you see. So as I had hit the third toenail and he collapsed for some time because this paralyzed the nervous system for some time. And not a day passed without Ishwaran recounting some story packed with adventure, and horror or suspense. So this way daily Ishwaran tells some or the other story to Mahendra, and these stories contain so many attributes such as some stories have some adventure, some horror or some suspense. Whether the story was credible or not, Mahendra enjoyed listening to it because of the imitable way in which it was told. So Mahendra enjoyed all the story. Why he enjoyed? Because the way of telling a story of Ishwaran was very impressive. He used to dramatize, he used to imitate the characters which the man used to like. Ishwaran seemed to more than make up for the absence of TV in Mahendra's living quarters. So this was fulfilling the need of television for Mahendra because he don't have TV in that quarters. One morning when Mahendra was having breakfast, Ishwaran asked, "Can I make something special for dinner tonight, sir?" So one day Ishwaran asked Mahendra if he could make something special for the dinner because it was an auspicious day. After all, today is an auspicious day means some special day. According to tradition, we prepare various delicacies to feed the spirit of our ancestors today, sir. He said, today we made we make many and different dishes in order to make happy our ancestors. And that night, Mahendra enjoyed the most delicious dinner and complimented Ishwaran on his culinary skills. And that day, Ishwaran prepared very tasty food. So Mahendra also said that you cook very well. He seemed very pleased. So Mahendra was very happy that day and unexpectedly launched into most garnish account involving the supernatural. So this Ishwaran was also very happy, and he also told him one story about the supernatural elements. You know, sir, this entire factory area we are occupying was once a burial ground. Burial ground means where the dead bodies are buried. So he said, entire area is a burial ground. He started. Mahendra was jerked out of the pleasant reverie he had drifted into after the satisfying meal. So Mahendra was little bit means he don't like this type of stories, and after a tasty meal he was not enjoyed this type of story. I knew on the first day itself when I saw a human skull lying on the path. So Ishwaran was going on telling that when I came here very first day he saw one skull was lying on the road. Even now I come across a number of skulls and bones. Ishwaran continued. So Ishwaran was continuing telling. He went on narrate how he sometimes saw ghosts at night. He also told that during night he used to see ghosts also, and I am not easily frightened by these things, sir. And he added that he was not frightened, he was not afraid of that type of things. He said, I am a brave fellow, I am a brave man, but one horrible ghost of a woman which appears off and on at midnight during the full moon. So he said during Purnima, during the full moon, there was a one ghost of a woman which appeared very fearful, and it is an ugly creature with matted hair, with dry hair and shriveled face, and face was also very ugly, and it was like a skeleton, and it is holding a fetus in his arms. Fetus means child before the birth. That woman was carrying a fetus in her arms. Mahesh shivered at the description and interrupted rather sharply. He said, you are crazy, Ishwaran. So Mahendra was also very afraid, and he said, what you are talking about, rubbish. I think you are a crazy man. There are no such things as ghosts or spirits. He said, but there are no ghosts. It is all figment of your imagination. It is only your imagination. Get your digestive system examined and maybe your head as well. You are talking nonsense. He said you are gone mad and you are only talking rubbish. Stop it. He left the room and retired for the night. So he himself left the room and went to sleep, expecting Ishwaran to sulk for a couple of days. He thought that now Ishwaran will be angry for some days, but the next morning he was surprised to find the cook as cheerful and talkative as ever. But next morning he find Ishwaran as happy as he was always, and he was as talkative as he is. From that day on, Mahendra, for all the brave talk, went to bed with a certain unease. So from on that day, Ishwaran was sometimes thinking about the ghost which the Ishwaran has described. Every night he peered into the darkness and to see the outside of his window through the window next to his bed, trying to make sure that there was no movement of dark shapes in the vicinity. So, but he could only see a sea of darkness with the twinkling lights of the factory miles away, but he could not see anything. He had always liked to admire the milk white landscapes on the full moon nights, so he used to like to watch outside when it is Purnima or full moonlight. But after hearing Ishwaran's story of female ghosts, he avoided looking out of window altogether when the moon was full. So now he was afraid to look outside his window during the full moon nights. And one night Mahendra was woken up from his sleep by a low moan close to his window. And one night he heard the sound of moaning as if somebody is crying. So at first he put it down to a cat prowling around for mice. So he thought some cat must be weeping and some cat must be chasing the mice. But the sound was too guttural for a cat. But after some time he felt that this is not the sound of cat, but this is little harsher. Guttural means harsh. He registered the curiosity to look out lest he should behold a sight which would stop his heart. So he was so afraid. But as his eyes went outside the window, he himself saw some sight. But the wailing became louder and less feline. So it was not of feline means not of cat's family, but something that sound was for some other creature. He could not resist the temptation anymore. Now he could not stop himself to looking outside. Lowering himself to the level of window sill, he looked out at the white sheet of moonlight outside. So there he saw something there not too far away was a dark cloudy form clutching a bundle. He saw something around the clouds. Mahendra broke into a cold sweat, and now he was fully sweat. He was afraid, he was so fearful, and fell back on the pillow, panting as he gradually recovered from the ghastly experience, began to reason with himself. So his heartbeat was so fast, he was so feared, and finally concluded that it must have been some sort of auto-suggestion. But he thinking, it was nothing but some trick had subconscious has played on him. By the time he had got up in morning, had a bath, and come out to have his breakfast. In the morning he was all right. The horror of previous night has faded from his memory. So he tried to forget the things of the previous night. Ishwaran greeted him at the door with his lunch packet and his bag. So Ishwaran came with his tiffin and with his bag. Just as Mahendra was stepping out, Ishwaran grinned again and said, "Sir, remember the other day when I was telling you about the female ghost with a fetus in its arm? You were so angry with me, imagining things. And that day you scolded me and you said that I am imagining the things. But, well, you saw her yourself last night. And last night, but you have seen the ghost yourself. I came running hearing the sound of moaning that was coming from your room. So I also heard the moaning which was coming from your room." A chill went down Mahendra's spine. So Mahendra, who wanted to forget everything, now again was under the pressure. He did not wait for Ishwaran to complete his sentence. He hurried away to his office and handed in his papers, resolving to leave the haunted place. Now he wanted to leave the haunted place and he has given his resignation. So the story ends here. Hope you like the story of Ishwaran, the storyteller by R.K. Lakshman. Okay.